Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, of course, and I am back for another Heart of the Swarm broadcast. And today I wanted to bring you guys another game from DreamHack Valencia. This is going to be, of course, from the quarterfinals. I'm going to be doing at least one game from every set, just the best ones, obviously. And this one is going to be between Root Yugioh, who is the red Zerg player in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, Star Station. And for those of you guys who don't know who Yugioh is, well, he was a very famous card player in 2010, I think. If you guys didn't watch the card show or the card game, then I guess you guys don't know who I'm talking about. But Yugioh is a great Korean Zerg player. He is going to be the red Zerg in the bottom right-hand corner, and this is going to be the blue Zerg known as Goswser from America, from North America, and for those of you guys who may be a little confused, I know his name is spelled Goswser, and a lot of commentators call him Goswser, but he's actually called Goswser. If you ever look at his name closely, the W is supposed to be a UU. So that is Goswser, and it is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg. I'm told the first game here is pretty good, and I'll be casting, of course, the best games from each set. And after this, of course, as you guys all know, this is DreamHack Valencia, and DreamHack Circuit has a bunch of pit stops. We had Stockholm and we had Open Summer. The players have mostly, by and large, been the same. You know, you've seen the same top players going into the top 16 or the top 8 time and time again. And yes, Jaedong is here. He is in the round of 8. I will be casting his game next after this. So I'm very excited because the next set I'll be doing is Jaedong versus JYP. And I'm told that is a really good set of games. So I'm very excited to be able to have the opportunity to do that for you. And of course, we'll see if this time around Jaedong can get first place or not. It seems like, you know, every time he gets close, he gets stopped right at second place, and it is a little bit disheartening if you're a big fan of him. But you know, a lot of people have been saying that, hey, he's a Brood War player. He just joined Starcraft 2, so to be able to get second place, even though it is second place, to get it 3 times in a row now, I mean, you know, that's pretty good for Jaedong. So hopefully he doesn't get the stigma of being, you know, second place, the super second silver player like Stork was back in Brood War. But yeah, I'm very excited. Jaedong will be next, and for now, let's go ahead and look at this ZvZ. It'll be an expand for both of these players here, as Goswser, the blue Zerg from Team Millennium. By the way, guys, I don't know why, but sometimes my buildings do disappear. I know it's becoming a recurring theme, and I don't know what the reason is. I think it might be something with my computer. I'll try to. I will be upgrading my setup pretty soon, so hopefully that'll solve the HD's disappearing buildings situation. So yeah, we'll hopefully get that fixed in the near future. I'm probably gonna have to change my graphics card because I'm still using a really out-of-date one. And yeah, that's that. Anyways, we do have Metabolic Boost coming here. There is a Disappearing Hatchery. Hello. Yugioh here going for Metabolic Boost, so he will be going for some upgrades here. And Baneling Nest also on the way from Yugioh as well. He could actually just go for a Baneling Bust. That is certainly a very popular and viable strategy in Zerg versus Zerg. And as those Zerglings make their way over to the top left-hand side of Star Station, we'll see if Goswser is going to be prepared for this. He does have a few queens out, and those Zerglings, one of them is going to be able to run on by. That's why you always send them in pairs. The buddy system works well for Zerglings, and the Zergling will make his way into the main base, where he will sniff out double gas. And oh, whoa, a bunch of eggs just getting canceled right there, or they just became drones. I'm not too sure what the hell that was about. But it does look like, speaking about cancellations, Yugioh here has canceled his Baneling Nest. I do not see his Baneling Nest. Let's see, structures, no Baneling Nest on the structures tab. So I'm not too sure what he saw, but he decided not to go for the Baneling Bust. Maybe he saw all those eggs coming and he thought they weren't drones. And he decided to I have no idea why you would cancel a Baneling Nest at this point, but regardless, I mean, Goswser is he's gonna be pretty well prepared. You can see here he's actually going for a Roach Warren, double Queen, Evolution Chamber, Evo Chamber behind that as well. And the thing is, you know, in Zerg versus Zerg, there's just so many of these early shenanigans that happen. You know, you're used to dealing with Zergling Baneling all in, Roach all in. You know, even Spine Crawler all ins happen at some point in a Zerg player's career. So Goswser is making sure that none of this happens, and he's getting all of his defenses online now. So he's going to be pretty well fortified. And in fact, there is another Baneling nest coming along with the Spire. So for Yugioh, he is going to be going for a delayed nest Spire, and it looks like he's bringing in his Overseer here to pop off the creep tumors, and that's actually pretty smart, because if Goswser is going to be playing this kind of turtle style game, then, you know, prevent those creep tumors from coming out. Very smart play. Yugioh, they're trying to send in the Changeling trapped scout unit, the scout card, and unfortunately it was picked off by the queen, so the Changeling was not successful. But what's interesting here is a divergence in builds. We're going to be seeing Muta Zergling from Root Yugioh, and from Millennium's Goswser, we're going to be seeing a more standard Roach style. The only thing about Roaches is you can't really push out until you get Hydras and Infestors to back them up. So Goswser will be playing a pretty defensive style for some time here, I feel like. And I love how he sent that Overseer in. And he was able to scout out that Spire, so now he can go ahead and throw up an Infestation Pit or a Hydralisk Den, and Spore Crawlers, and I don't think he'll lose too much from these Mutas. And in fact, it looks like he's going to go for an Infestation Pit, but that Zergling is going to scout it out. Nice little run in there by Yugioh's solo Zergling. And will he cancel the Infestation Pit? No, he's not. He's actually going to stick with Infestors, I guess. And this is a little bit harder, I feel like, to defend against Mutas. Hydras are a safer bet, because with Infestors, you also have to wait for Pathogen Glands. And if you don't wait for Pathogen Glands, then you have to build Infestors and wait for that energy to accumulate for enough for a fungal. So I definitely think Hydras are better, but this is going to be interesting. How will Goswser defend against these Mutas? They are going to start to go off on these Overlords first. And a couple of Overlords going down now as Yugioh makes his way into enemy Zerg airspace with these Mutas. And look at this! Goswser is actually going to push out with Queens and Roaches! Whoa! Haven't seen a push like this in some time, but Goswser is going to bring Queens to back up his Roaches. He's got like 5 or 6 Queens here, and is this his strategy to just go all in with Roach Queen? And immediately what Yugioh does is begin to research Evolve Enduring Locust, because if you're dealing with this kind of a push, you know, Swarmos are obviously very good against these ground units. And look at this, Goswser's actually left creep, he's left home creep, and he's brought his Queens all the way into the middle of the map. He's going to attack with Queens here. Now Yugioh is trying to build Spine Crawlers in order to fortify his defenses. He knows what's up. He is going to try to run by with Zerglings, but Roaches coming out will intercept. And look at this, Goswser now attacking this hatchery. He's going to be able to take it down. Nothing Yugioh can do about this. What a play by Goswser. Where are his Queens? So he will need to back up these Roaches. And it looks like the hatchery does go down. Great play by the American Zerg player. Goswser, the Korean Zerg. Yugioh in some trouble here. He has to find a way to separate the Roaches and Queens, or just buy time to get enough Swarmos and Spine Crawlers down in order to defend against this. Basically, it's an all-in, and I love what Goswser's done. He's got 1-1, which shares with Roaches and Queens. So this is just an incredible push by Goswser. These Mutas, they've got to be careful, man. That's a lot of transfuse energy built up in those Queens, and when they're doing 10 damage a shot with their acid attacks, their tentacle attacks, if you will, it's basically like dealing with a Hydralisk that has double the HP and an instant heal. Not easy to deal with. Goswser now going to take out this hatchery, though. Great play with his Mutas and Zerglings, and Yugioh taking out the hatchery, and Goswser actually trying to bring his Queens back, but his Queens have now separated from the Roaches. This is not good for him. Roaches now trying to come back to defend here and protect Goswser's Queens, but he's got great transfuses. Look at the sick timing, playing Whack-A-Mole, the mini game, and Goswser keeps all of his Queens alive. I mean, he's got so much energy for transfuse. What a play. And now he's got Infestors to back up his Queens. So now he's actually got a real form of anti-air, not to mention he's got Hydras on the way too. So pretty soon his army is going to be very strong. And yeah, he lost a hatchery, but guess what? He also killed the third of Yugioh. So I feel like Yugioh right now is on the back foot, because when it comes down to it, a real Zerg army versus a real Zerg army, mutas don't really cut it when you're dealing with Roaches and Hydras. Roaches and Hydras are a much more stable, solid form of an army. The only thing is their weakness is when they're first starting to build up. Mutas have better map control and better agility than they do, but as the game progresses, Roaches and Hydras increase in strength. And so I do like where Goswser is at right now, and yeah, his lair is contaminated, which is nice, because in the high-level ZvZ, and I used to do this a lot, is you would contaminate the enemy main base that had Inject Larva on it. It would cancel Inject Larva, kill off all the eggs, and so a great way to get rid of Zerg macro right there. So nice job by Yugioh, but he is going to have to figure out a way to deal with this Roach, Queen, Hydra, Infestor army. And now he's built up a lot of Swarm Hosts, and I mean, he's just going to have to hope that his Swarm Hosts are going to be enough here to hold off this attack. I mean, this is pretty scary. And yeah, he's got mostly mutas and swarm hosts. Will his Locust be able to deal with this type of army? I don't know. And I mean, we'll just have to see. It's going to come down to the control here. It looks like Yugioh realizing, well, my mutas are pretty much worthless. I might as well attack hatcheries with them, try to split Goswser's attention. It looks like he will be able to get this hatchery down. Nice job by Yugioh. And no reinforcements from Goswser. Goswser looks like he's just going to go all in. It looks like he's just going to send everything over, and once again going to trade hatchery for hatchery. A lot of spines back at home here for Yugioh, and obviously that's a good decision. He's also split his swarm hosts on the high ground, and he's just gonna have to hope and pray that he's got enough units to defend against his all-in. He's also brought his drones away, he's scurried them and burrowed them underground, and here we go. Yugioh is going to have to defend against Goswser's all-in. Goswser putting everything on the line, and there's a ton of spine crawlers here. Will he have enough Roaches and Hydras? There are more swarm hosts burrowed underground to the left. The Overseer just went down. The Overseer has fallen. Spore Crawler targeting it, and now the problem is Goswser has no way to see the burrowed swarm host unless he uses fungal growth. Will he have enough fungal to reveal these swarm hosts? This is gonna go down to the wire, and will he be able to do it or not? Yugioh trying to defend here. His swarm host getting overwhelmed, but of course there is no way for the blue Zerg to detect the red Zerg's swarm host unless he uses fungal growth. And now, I mean, I think that Yugioh is probably just gonna have to forfeit here. I mean, Goswser just has too much. He kills off the natural expansion, now threatening to run up the main base as well. And does he have enough energy for another fungal? Because he cannot actually see these swarm hosts. Drone's now trying to run away to become spine crawlers and whatnot. And you can see here a lot of the swarm hosts still alive, so Yugioh is hoping, he's banking and praying that he'll be able to win a war of attrition just based on locusts alone. And, you know, he's got a point here. He might be able to do it. But look at this, Yugioh now saying, forget that. I'll just send some Roaches into the main base and try to do as much damage as I can. And his queens, I mean, his queens are all the way across the map fighting on the enemy ramp. They are getting surrounded, of course, by locusts and drones and whatnot. But the main hive, the main layer is going to go down. And another crippling blow here for the Korean Zerg Yugioh, and he's really gonna have to count on the heart of the cards right now to get the next. I mean, he's gonna need like I don't know what he needs. What card would save him at this point? I don't think there's any card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh that just completely flips momentum around. The only thing he's got going for him, really, it's like you know, there's no way for Goswser to detect his swarm hosts. And I feel like right now Yu-Gi-Oh's best chance of winning is just to go counterattack with all of his swarm hosts, because you know, Yu-Gi-Oh to go counterattack Goswser, because Goswser doesn't have any overseers, and it's a little surprising to me that that he's not building overseers. He should be making a ton of them right now. And look at the drone disadvantage. I mean, it's like 4-1 in favor of Goswser, and so Yu-Gi-Oh is in a terrible spot right now. And I'm not too sure why he's not pushing. Why is he not attacking? He's just sitting back with his swarm host, and now overseers have joined the army. So Goswser is in a fantastic spot, and yeah, I think it's pretty much going to be GG here. Wow, what a game. What a play by Goswser with his roaches and queens going all in. I mean, you don't expect to see that very often, but it worked. And what an incredible play. I mean, he +1/+1 to his roaches and his queens, brought in hydras and infestors for support, and he was able to overcome the army of Yu-Gi-Oh! And now Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just down to one pitiful expansion. He's mining out of one base, his main base, and he really just has nothing going for him but a grid of Swarm Hosts, and I'm shocked that he's not attacking. Why sit back? How can you possibly win this game by sitting back and you know, twiddling your thumbs? I have no idea. But I think game 1 of this set is going to go to Goswser. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, the heart of the cards do not save you. And here comes those roaches and hydras. I'd expect to see a GG right now. And I believe that's going to be it. Millenniums, Goswser wins the game. Root Yu-Gi-Oh! GG's out. So Goswser is victorious. And hope you guys enjoyed the cast. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And this is HD signing out.